Tom. No. No.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see third-year man Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears as they take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. With that, we head across the Atlantic to London. Standing by with the call and maybe a little jet-lagged, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and our home team. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. And he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
First carry for Mike Davis, the former Seahawk. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line pre-game. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there with a nice explosive run.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. On the draw, this is Davis. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
We often overuse the term heart and soul when we talk about a player being just that for his team, but not in the case of Kyle Long in Chicago. He's shown his ability to be a Pro Bowl guard, a Pro Bowl tackle, but it's his passion for the game, his passion for his teammates that sets the tone for the entire team.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. Against the pass, they've had some issues. Ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 yards on the play, first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in with the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Trubisky. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Here's Trubisky. The quick slant caught. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Derek Carr set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his 6th season, 28 years of age, former 2nd-round pick back in 2014. And a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft, even contemplating maybe making a run at Kyler Murray, but in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long-term answer. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Doug Martin. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Now, 185. 58 right there.
This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. A look now at the Oakland offense.
And there's offensive tackle Trent Brown, signed away from New England in the offseason on a 4-year, $66 million deal to protect his new quarterback in Oakland, Derek Carr. No stranger to the Bay Area.
First 3 years in the league were with San Francisco as a 49er. He can play left or right tackle.
Throwing his car on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
This is brought in at the 21. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The reception good for 7. It's third down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Davis. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
A first down carry for Davis. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run them.
Pass from Trubisky taken in by Gabriel. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On second down, Davis. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. He may try and run for this. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
Now it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll give them a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now.
And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton. His 2nd touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Carr now to throw. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play. First down. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers and the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger. So he ends up being traded to the Raiders in March. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6 straight years of at least 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not a bad stretch. What a talent for Derek Carr to have on his side. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well. Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Yeah, the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. And the safety, Carl Joseph, there to knock that one away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On second down, Richard. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing it. The offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here we go on 4th down with Carr. Buying time to his left. He's airing it out for Williams, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it does. Doesn't pay off, and the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. They'll run on 1st down. Davis, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They keep it with Davis on 1st down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down. On second down now, it's Davis down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. On the draw, Richard. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Carr gives to Richard. Clinton Dix, the former Packer, in on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Carr. Flushed out right. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Carr. They'll roll him out right. Into heavy traffic, and he's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. try to run it out as they start on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started with a good one in the NFC. Minnesota heading to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. Stephon Diggs, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Next, we'll stay in the Northeast as we head down to FedEx Field in Washington to check in on the Redskins. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Tom Brady at it again. 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And that game's all tied up as they play the visiting Jaguars. In our game, it's been Mitchell Trubisky who's looked sharp thus far. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Richard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
It's like injury.
Now, 180.
What?
Check.
No. Bring.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd and 9, Carr. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him.
Escaping the pressure right. He may try it, and now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Carr, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Bears will get the football back. Well, they were 2 for 3 on 4th down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. You know, 2 for 4, 2 for 3 before that. They finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that'll keep pressing. In this situation, they'll continue to go for it.
Again, it's Davis. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st down, it's Davis. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
Trubisky's throw pulled in by Robinson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd and 11 now. Trubisky, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And Robinson with a big catch. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as the Bears push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me.
and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
How many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Flushed out right. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Here we go.
And Derek Carr just keeps improving. He can be dangerous not just inside the pocket, but as we see here, outside of it as well.
Kid born in California, played his high school ball in Texas, had quarterback written all over it. Carr's throw caught by Grant. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one and another first down. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a little bit different size than they're used to seeing in Chicago, playing the middle linebacker position. But undersized or not, his speed is absolutely overwhelming. And when he arrives with a thump. The city of broad shoulders loves Roquan Smith.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 19. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 19. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out of him.
And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Davis. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Point after, right down the middle. And it is 28-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And another tackle broken. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective. They had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see this thing pile up as we go on.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. This started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's got some space here. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Running is Jacobs. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down and 4, Carr. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Carr now 6 of 17 throwing the ball, only 35%. But he does have a 1st and 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run it again here with Davis. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Davis will try to run for it. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Throwing here, Trubisky, dancing to his left. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And Trubisky down to a knee, and that is all she wrote. And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated, another win under their belt.
And they did it the way that they really want to. Taking a knee at the end of the game. That means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.